Greetings from the mayor's office. As promised on the campaign, we promise to make sure that we provide a government that is transparent, that is accountable, and that is government of integrity. This is our first moment with you from the mayor's desk, and I want to take this time to make sure that we're sharing with you on a weekly basis how we've been responsible with the taxpayers' money and the resources that you're providing us to run city government. So often when we consider ourselves as a city, it's easy to point fingers to look at different individuals for the problems that we have. But I don't believe that's your mayor. I believe that we either go up together or we go down together. So let me tell you this story that I came across my desk the other day. The story is about the obstacle that was in the way in this great city. There was a boulder that was placed on the road. And this boulder, every day, individuals walked around the boulder. Citizens walked around that boulder. As they walked around it, complaints continued to come into the city in regards to who would move the boulder in the road. One day there was an elderly gentleman who had just left the marketplace. He decided to put down his groceries and decided that at least I can attempt to move the boulder. And as he put his hand to that boulder and he began to press that boulder, to his surprise, the boulder began to move. Up beneath that boulder was a letter. That letter stated that whatever issue we have in our community, if we put our hands to it together, we can move the issues throughout our community. As your mayor, we have walls in our city. And what do those walls define for us? They define who we are, they define space, and they provide protection. Just like that boulder, our walls are our responsibility. Our walls have been compromised in our city, and I want to speak to you about those three walls. The walls of public safety, the walls of beautification and infrastructure, and the walls of workforce development. When we talk about the walls of public safety, it's important that we understand upon entering in this office, Selma was listed in the state of Alabama for a city of our size as the most violent city in this state. That is not who we are, Selma. We were also listed as the most violent, not the most violent, but the 8th most violent city in the United States. And again, that's not who we are as a people. So upon taking office, we knew that there would be challenges that we had to overcome. But yet we knew the opportunities were even greater in our great city, in our historic city. And so what we're doing in City Hall is saying to the citizens of this great city that better days are coming to Selma. Because I continue to believe, Selma, that we are a chosen people who's to bring forth God's glory. I believe that as God build our city, our labor will be in vain. And if God watch our city, then our watching will be in vain. But here's the key. I believe the way that God builds our city is through our hands. That God has blessed us with the hands to put the hands on the boulder, to move it out the way, to put our hands on the wall, to repair the walls. If God is going to watch the city, I continue to believe that God watches the city through our eyes. That's our responsibility to make sure that we participate in the great work in this city. And again, upon entering to this office, there was issues in our city that we knew we had to take on. I believe, Selma, that this fight that we have with public safety is a fight that each and every one of the citizens of this great city should be willing to take on. Everyone has a role to play in this fight, from communities in the neighborhoods, our churches, our parents, neighborhoods, nonprofits, and also the government. Now, what we are doing as a government, what we have committed to do to curb crime, to bring down this senseless violence in our community, number one, what we're doing is we're bringing about an initiative to light up our entire city. When I say light up our entire city, I'll say provide better lighting in our city, where we know better lighting will drive out crime in certain areas. And so we put an initiative together to make sure that we have 21st century lighting throughout the city of Selma. That is one thing we're doing to curb crime in our community. And so far, we've already begun the process, but there'll be more things that will take place over time in regards to bringing better lighting to our great city. Number two, what we are doing, we are tearing down dilapidated homes to make sure they are not homes that are being used for crime throughout our great city. That is something that we have taken on and have goals in regards to removing the eyesores throughout our community to make sure our homes can be something that we can be proud, our neighborhoods can be something proud that we can stay in and call our homes. A couple more things that we are doing in regards to public safety is that we are revamping our policies and procedures in the police department to make sure that we are very responsive to the citizens of this great city. That when you call us, we want to respond in a timely manner, and we want to have a greater presence of law enforcement throughout this community. Citizens of Selma, most importantly, we are making sure that we're doing a very extensive search for a chief to make sure we can find the best chief that fits for our department. Now, public safety is number one for all of us, but each and every one of us have to play our role. Community policing is very important in this great city. So I'm making a call upon every citizen today to be your brother's keeper, to be your sister's keeper, to be your neighbor's keeper. That if you see a crime, report it to the proper authorities. If you have any information regarding a crime, come forward with that information. When we hold our brothers and sisters accountable for the mistakes they make, then we will become a safer city. The walls of beautification in our city that has been compromised is another issue and great concern of us at City Hall. We are announcing this week an 8-ward, 8-week cleanup in our great city, whereby we can bring about the transformation in each neighborhood, each ward that is so richly deserved. This is our city, Selma. We shouldn't expect someone from the outside to clean up our city. Let's take ownership of cleaning up this city. So after this 8-ward cleanup, I'm challenging all citizens of this city. Let's keep our wards clean. Let's keep our streets clean. Let's keep our neighborhoods clean. Because when we do that, we feel better about home. If you see someone dumping illegally in an area, please make sure you write down that tag number. Take your smartphone, take your camera out, take a picture of that individual. We want to make sure that everyone takes the cleaning up and the beautification of our city as a very important issue, because it goes a long way even with combating the crime that we spoke about earlier. Thirdly, let me talk about the walls of employment. We have employment throughout our city, and that is, we are very grateful for that employment. Yet, we have room to grow. When we look at crime in our community, so much of it has been coming from a younger generation. And so we in Selma, we're doing things to address that in regards to jobs for our young people. In Selma, I believe that we're hardworking people and that we have the opportunity to steer the next generation down the right path. So we are announcing our work-based learning program for young adults between the ages of 18 through 24. Now, this program is a program that we are partnering with the state in regards to providing jobs and internships for the next generation of Selmians. These jobs, we believe, will provide the opportunity to work in city government for 30 hours a week, up to 390 hours. For more information, please contact City Hall so we can put you in contact with the right individuals to make sure that you can go through the process of being eligible to work one of these jobs. Throughout our great city, development is major, is important, is key. We are putting some things in place in regards to redeveloping our entire city. In the meanwhile, there will be pilot programs that's going forth to be an example of what we can do through our great city. I'm asking you as a citizen of this city to look forward, to get on board, to be a part of the efforts that we're putting forth to redevelop our city, to rebrand our city, and to redefine our city. Again, before I end, let me speak to you about crime. We can measure crime in our community by statistics. We can measure it by the mentoring efforts we put forth. We can measure it by the jobs that we are creating. But not all the desired progress will come in weeks. It may not even come in months, and even a couple of years down the road. Listen, we did not get to where we are overnight. We did not get to this place of being the most violent city in the state. But I believe every day we can get better. I believe that every week we can get better. That we can get better month by month and year by year. Together, Selma, when we put our hearts, minds, bodies, and souls to changing the fabric of this great community, only then do I believe our city will live up to the greatest potentials that it has to be. Selma, the time has come for us to put our differences aside. The campaign is over. It's time to govern. It's time to get to work. See you out in the neighborhoods. Let's keep our city clean and let's keep our city safe.